During Microsoft's press conference at this year's E3, as promised, Microsoft finally showcased Xbox Scorpio, or Xbox One X as they call it now, alongside with a lot of titles, 42 to be precise. It is the smallest Xbox ever and the most powerful console ever made, running several games at a native 4K resolution with high dynamic range lighting. But the question is the console worth $500? Does it really matter to play games at 4K, and what difference does it make? My name is Rinnegan, and today I give you my opinion on whether the Xbox One X is the console for you or not. First, let me back up a bit to my decision of buying the Xbox One despite its rough beginning. The Xbox 360 was a huge success and it had a lot of great titles and my favorite franchises like Halo, Gears of War and Fable. And with a gamer card of over 250,000 gamer score at the time and a lot of money spent on it, even when the PS4 chose superior in terms of specs and even lineup, I still chose to believe in the brand and bought the console. Of course I ended up buying a PS4 because, well, I'm a gamer. It's been 3 years now, and with a lot of steps to our salvation with Xbox One X coming out this November, let's take a look at the pros and cons of the new Microsoft console. The lineup. For me, the lineup itself should be the main reason you buy a console. And even with the disaster that was the cancelling of Scalebound, which to be honest was the strongest game releasing this year, the lineup is not looking that bad. We have Forza Motorsport 7, which is looking amazing even for me not being a fan of driving simulators. We have Crackdown 3, which should have shown a lot more since the game is releasing with the console in November. The game might not look great, but hey, neither did Crackdown and the game was hella fun. Not sure what the game modes will be and what they intend to do with it, but I'm still optimistic about it. State of Decay is looking good, but I think I've had enough of zombies and crafting for now, so I think I'll pass. I still don't really know what Sea of Thieves is. The game has a lot of potential, but until they show me more of what the game is, I think I'll pass too. And of course another example is Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Ori and the Blind Forest is still one of my favorite games on the Xbox One and one of my favorite games to date. So if the sequel is as good as the first one, it's sold. Obviously, all of these exclusives that I mentioned are coming to the PC as well, making them console exclusives only. And if you have a PC and you want these games, it might not make sense to you, but I'll get onto that later. Specs. Xbox One X is the most powerful console ever made and will probably have the best versions of multi-platform games in all of the consoles. But what does that really mean? Microsoft showcased some of the games running natively in 4K and they look beautiful. But if you want to take full advantage of the feature, you'll have to acquire a proper Ultra HD device, which is not very accessible to begin with. Of course, if you don't own a 4K TV or a monitor, you'll probably still be able to take advantage of the power boost to raise the frame rate count to get better loading times, and the games will still look better even if playing in a full HD device. But this really all depends on whether the developers want to push the engine to the console's limit or not. In theory, Xbox One X, being the most powerful console on the market, should run the best versions. But that is if the developers optimize the game for it. And of course, we are speaking of future releases, because if we speak about the games that were already released, those will need an update in order to get the best version, so to speak. Oh, and speaking of hardware, Xbox One X will be the only console that can read 4K Blu-rays for now, which, in the unlikely chance that you choose physical copies instead of digital, is a pro, I guess? Price. The console is priced at $499, which is $100 more than PS4 Pro, which is understandable since the Xbox One X is considerably more powerful than the PS4 Pro. But I admit I was expecting the console to be cheaper, and it ends up being a bit of a downside for me. But think about it in this way: if you want a gaming PC capable of running games with the same quality as the Xbox One X, the graphic card itself is going to cost you more than $500, so if you're buying a PC from scratch instead of upgrading, it will end up being far more expensive. So to sum things up, if you don't own an Xbox One yet, Xbox One X will be your best choice taking the price and specs into account. If you do own an Xbox One, I would probably wait until 4K devices are a little more accessible, and until then the console's price will probably drop as well. And if you want a proper gaming PC, well, no point in buying Xbox One X since all the games are coming on both platforms. Unless you're really lazy and prefer spending $500 just to be able to play while laying on your couch. But enough of my opinion, guys, I want to know your thoughts. Are you excited about the Xbox One X? Does the frame rate and resolution war matter to you? Leave it in the comment section below. And as always, if you want to see more gaming goodness, subscribe to our channel. I've been Rinnegan, and I'll see you next time.